Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's weigh-in day. Yeah, weigh-in day. Man, it's been a pretty long week. You just go through the motions of work and life and everything else, and you come to the end of the week before you know it. I feel all right about this week. So I always feel apprehensive to get on a scale after a game. Definitely had a game last week, so always apprehensive to get on a scale the next week. But that's been part of my journey all my life. Is the week after a game is always an apprehensive feeling of stepping on the scale. But all we can do is do the work we know works and get through it and move on. And because nothing changes, nothing changes if we're not doing the work, right? If we're not getting the work done on a daily basis, nothing changes at all. And in the occasion where if you actually believe you're doing all the work necessary and nothing still changes, then it's time to open a book and to educate yourself about nutrition beyond WW, because it's a great start, but it's not. I mean, if you go into the nutrition section of a library, the WW book is not the only book there. So what would it hurt for you to open a book and start to learn what you don't already know about a topic you're obviously passionate about? Because look, think about it this way: you pour, $500-600 a year into being a member alone. That's not even, the food you buy, the gym membership, and all that other stuff. I'm just talking about to be a member of the system. You're paying about $600 a year, whatever it is. So you are invested financially. So why aren't you invested mentally? And the separation of that, and I'm not even talking about your mentality of how you go about it, your mindset about how you do the work. I'm talking about your mental knowledge of nutrition as a whole. Just because you've decided to be a member of a certain system does not mean you should not educate yourself about nutrition, about what nutrients your body actually needs. Because when you start to do that, and you start to provide your body with the nutrients it needs, you might find that the scale starts moving again. The one thing about life, the one thing about how your body works is that very much like a recipe, if you're making a recipe, you have your bowl and you have your ingredients. And you could say, oh, this is grandma's recipe for whatever, right? And grandma put whatever ingredients in this recipe in that bowl. And you can't just say, I feel like putting this ingredient, because it's not grandma's recipe anymore now. Now it's your recipe, right? So the same goes with nutrients in the body. If your stomach was the mixing bowl, your stomach requires certain nutrients simply to function. And because you feel like providing other nutrients, it's not going to say, okay, we'll just burn these nutrients. It'll do what it needs to do and find it other places, and you are setting yourself up for failure in many ways, more than one. So when you start to understand, okay, what are nutrients? How much does my body need? And you start to explore, how do I provide these nutrients to my body? You also break the hold that food has on your life, because we are all probably in this position because we're chasing pleasure. The dopamine cycle is real. You provide something in a moment, it provides pleasure, dopamine comes, and then it all becomes about the next dopamine hit. And it's always about the next dopamine hit. and breaking that hold, providing your body with the nutrients it needs, and not eating what you feel like eating, but eating what you need to eat in order to provide the nutrients your body needs. If you can do that the majority of the time and keep eating for pleasure at a minimum, you will find great success. Great success. And you will also find that if something should happen in life, because we all know there's possibilities of diagnoses you don't expect. You know, when you're sitting in that doctor's office and the doctor says you have X diagnosis, and this diagnosis can be eradicated or managed nutritionally. If you're in a position to say, I already lived the majority of my life away from foods that create dopamine cycles, I could now refine it easier than someone who is in the midst of the addiction. And that's, I mean, part of growth is not achieving a scale number. The growth in this, in health, is you basically having a relationship with food where food is fuel and nothing more. It's not pleasure, it's not happiness, it's not sadness, it's not comfort, it's not anything. It is gasoline to a car. Because that's really what food is. It is gasoline to a car. And we, as humans, attach all these other things to them. And that's why we're in the positions we are in. And part of your growth, part of your evolution to become the greatest version of yourself is to break the hold that these foods have in your body, so that if the day should come where somebody in a white coat is saying you have this diagnosis, and if you're either going to be on this medication or you're going to change your lifestyle. Changing your lifestyle in a moment where you've already evolved is much simpler than changing your lifestyle in a person who's made no changes, in a person who is in the midst of their addiction. They would have a much harder time, and they would much likely attempt, fail, and take the medication. The key to real health here is not a scale number. The key to real health is never needing the advice of somebody wearing a white coat. That's what I am pushing as true health, not a scale number, is never needing the guy in the white coat, the woman in the white coat, the bottles of pills that they hand you because we decide to live a certain way, a way that has been normalized by society and even promoted. Oh, indulge, enjoy, it's life. No, food is not life. Food is fuel. Life is everything else, but all of us see food as life. And that's the reason why we're in the position we're in. It's Saturday. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.